Hi, I'm Lisa. Thanks for coming. We found this video. So as you saw the title of the video, you probably know that I'm pivoting from nursing school into wellness. There's many reasons for that. This video is mainly for my own processing in case anyone else needs to hear it. This is not to shame anyone. This is sharing my own honest experience of misalignment and rediscovery. And you might see me looking to the side. It's only because I have some notes for this video and I don't want to forget anything. So a little about me before nursing school. I spent over 10 years in the field of mental health, working as a mental health worker in the community in different areas, from clubhouses to group home to supported independent living, carrying my own caseload. I have over 13 years working as a clinical hypnotherapist, running my own practice, helping people from everything from supporting them from diabetes, chronic pain, fears and phobias, trauma. I hold an undergrad in psychology and also a diploma in nutrition and a diploma in clinical hypnotherapy. I've also experienced as an energy healer. Just had a passion for helping people in general, their mind, body, and spirit, and supporting their nervous system. Why I entered nursing school? I wanted to combine actually natural healing with nursing. So I want to combine the mind, body, and spirit together. I thought that would be, what's the word? Or just bring everything together, right? From the science into the natural healing. And I was aiming to work either in mental health, corrections, or might even become a travel nurse. But I was also interested in being self-employed eventually, having my own hours, maybe doing wound care, foot care, mental wellness. So I started the program with clear goals and strong intentions of how I wanted to see myself and just learn as much as possible. Because I remember when my first course, and one of the first courses in nursing school was pathophysiology. And the instructor was asking everyone in the class, what are your goals for this course? Everyone had, put their feedback in about, I want to learn more about the body, this and that. But I was the only one who said, I want to see the mind-body connection, because that's what I was hoping with nursing school, bridging the science with the mind and see how those two align together. So as I talk further about this, that never happened. There's a huge focus on just the medical model, even though in nursing, you're looking at the whole person. But realistically, in nursing practice on a unit, you don't have time to really look at the whole person. You're busy filling orders for doctors, make sure they're getting their medication, or physio seeing them, or social workers seeing them, so you can get the bed ready. So it's not what I expected at all. So I'll go over some challenges that I faced in nursing school. There was a program misalignment with the structure, the culture, and the values just didn't fit with me. There's a real strong in nursing school it's called APA. If you're from North America and you've done like other degrees, then you know what I'm talking about, where it's basically how you reference material, like having a reference list, and how you cite information. It's not going to help you on the floor or in the community as a nurse. It's great if you want to go into research, but at the bachelor's level, I feel that's not necessary. So a focus on that, and less focus on the hand-on experience. I feel it really changed everything when in the old days the hospitals were training nurses, and they changed that to the universities to train nurses. Yeah, I get it. They want this is when they wanted to change it when the nurse had a bachelor's degree in science to be more well-rounded, critical thinker, research. Yeah, I get all that, but I feel the art of nursing has been lost, and there wasn't much also not a lot of focus in my program about communication. That's a huge aspect of nursing, therapeutic communication. Luckily, my psychology undergrad and my years of experience working with people in the field either of mental health or my hypnotherapy business, I have a lot of experience in that, but some of my classmates did not. And so I think also that was a huge gap in the program. And then something else was I was starting to feel undervalued, unsupported, and out of place at times in my program, because I wanted to bring the holistic to my nursing practice, but I found there either wasn't enough time, or they're rushing students to clinical, like tick off, okay, you learned this skill, you learned how to do a sub-Q injection, or you did an intramuscular injection, which they're all good skills to know as a nurse, but I think a lot is lost. I would like to have spent more time with patients, talking to them, getting to know them, their history, why they're here, um, or why they keep readmitted to the hospital. That's another thing. We're sent to units where there's not always the best work culture in nursing. So, like for example, when I was on one unit, I heard one doctor say, "Oh, what are we gonna do with all these students here? Like, there's not enough computers for everyone." And like, that's not the culture you want to promote, because we're future colleagues, and you guys are burnt out, but you don't want us there. Like, don't you remember what it's like to be a student? That's not right, and that's not fair. Or one unit, I was always looking for vital signs machines. Like, everything should be available to us. Or one nurse I was working with, she basically was like, "Oh, look up the policy. You can figure it out." And she went back to tapping on her phone. Or go find your instructor, which is fine. Like, her job's not to be my instructor, but your role as a nurse actually is an educator and to mentor students. So that's not mentoring students, and that's making them feel unwelcome, and creating a culture of, I don't even want to tell my nurse if I made a mistake, I'll be punished, and hiding things, and that's really bad for patient care. So those are a few things that I noticed. Let's see. Yeah, so during the program, I've been facing burnout, try to balance it all really, like with all the assignments and all the schoolwork. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't help my learning. And each semester you got to get used to each instructor is different and how they apply APA and their expectations. And so that's very also stressful. Sometimes you have to be a mind reader. And I'm not even learning because I'm so stressed out, because how is this instructor, is she going to make everyone redo their assignments because we missed a period or whatever, that takes away your learning. And why are we even here? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And honestly, this year, so in 2025, I actually thought about withdrawing many times, because I was like, every semester, oh, I hope it's worth it. I hope all the stress is worth it. Like, in the end, I'll be a nurse, so that's what matters. Like, or thinking about, they should be, and also another thing, clinical should be paid, or partly, like minimum wage. You're not going to be paid, of course, the same as a nurse, but it's your time. You should pay for parking, and you're getting up at 5 in the morning, and you're having to research all these patients. So you're putting time in, and nurses, we're not just like buffoons coming into clinical and knowing nothing. We help the nurses, like even if we have a 1 or 2 patient load, giving medication, practicing our assessments, it is helping the nurses' workload. So I feel like our time should be valued for that, because other professions are paid. So that's also another thing. It puts financial stress on the student, add more stress than they don't need, and stress is not conducive to learning. So I think what else? And I just felt emotionally and spiritually disconnected from the program. Like, again, there's no, like, where's the connection with all that? Like, mind, body, and spirit. Where is the holistic nursing? Like, it was just, the focus is on, okay, make sure, the meds are done. You do your assessments, and then you get your break, and then you feel like you're rushing around, and then you're giving a report, and everyone's exhausted. And what I noticed, the last placement I had at St. Paul's Hospital, it's a great unit. Props to all the nurses who work in surgery, because I couldn't do it. But on breaks, nurses are sleeping. I never seen this before. Like, maybe I've been in a different world, but how is this okay? Or they ask, "Oh, did you sleep on your break?" Sleep? I don't sleep on my breaks. Like, because I treat it like a job. I'm just resting, or I have my lunch or my snack or whatever I'm doing in my break, sleeping. But there was like 4 couches in the break room, and a lot of nurses, not just one, like one-off person. It was like so many nurses would grab like a hospital blanket and just crash. How is this acceptable? Like the grinding culture is not okay. And don't get me started about the schedule. Like the schedule is most nurses do 4 12-hour shifts in a row, 2 days, 2 nights. Like that is the worst thing for your body. I know in other countries, even in the US, they just do 3 12s, but you're doing all days or all nights. You're not going back and forth. Because even had this conversation with my nursing mentor, like, oh, we just get used to it. Yeah, you can get used to a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's good for you, and that doesn't mean it's okay. So that's another point where I was shocked, and I said, this is really unacceptable. But I did experience some. It wasn't all bad. I did experience some successes. Actually, my favorite semester was community. That's where I excelled. I'm not in the meat grinder. I'm not in acute care where it's short staffed. In the community, and the nurses were happy. So I did a home health rotation. So I learned a ton about wound care. But going into a client's home, doing wound care with them, you're calm, they're calm. And it's also interesting when you're in their home for wound care, they talk about other things about their lives. Because a lot of the clients are seniors, older adults. So they're probably lonely. They want to talk about other things. And then when you're in the home, you observe and see, oh, what? This person, they need some support at home. So that was actually my favorite semester. And then I also spent day in it's called the ambulatory wound clinic. So it's a wound clinic. People come in, nurses are there just to do the wound care, and they get treated. So I learned a lot about the different products you use in wound care. So that was really awesome. Let's see. And then I did enjoy second semester. I had a mental health rotation. I enjoyed that because obviously my background is mental health. The part that I didn't really like was, again, the nurses pretty much, except for maybe 1 or 2, they ignored the students like the whole time. Like the student nurses, we had our own little area in the opposite of the nursing station. I get it, you're busy, you're like, oh, students here again. But it's like, we're future colleagues. Like, you want to treat us how you were treated in school, then the cycle will never break. And so that's just something else. And so this year, more lately, I'm realizing in nursing, I'm not going to go the conventional path, because where I am in British Columbia, the health authorities, they don't want to change. You always see nurses get injured or attacked, and nothing gets done. They hire like these relational security officers, but the guards can't neutralize a suspect or someone who's attacking a nurse. They can't detain them or anything. They just basically are there to observe and report. But nurses do that already. So, and also the nurses union has been asking for police officers to be stationed at hospitals, and that hasn't been done either. So the government they never want to make the changes. They want to keep the cogs in the system going, and everyone has their job, gets paid. But meanwhile, and then they go, well, if nurses get injured or replaced, too bad. Like, that's the mentality, and you can easily look, like, every month the nurses get injured, and we talk to other nurses at hospitals. A lot of these attacks are not reported in the media. So, yeah. So that's something else that's not great. Yeah, so I'm choosing to pivot in nursing and do a non-traditional role. Actually, create a self-employment for myself and create wellness programs for companies, for employees. Because after COVID, burnout has been at the forefront, and mental health is more talked about now and normalized. And I want to help those people, help employees, because this is a really important subject. So I want more autonomy, flexibility in my work, and be authentic in my work, and believe and have passion. And so that's the only way I can do it. I can't do it working as an employee for a health authority who won't support me. And I'm not going to ruin my mental health just to help people. I'm sorry. And I'm hearing online there's a new generation of nurses that won't tolerate and sacrifice themselves. And I hope to be part of this next generation of nurses, people going and not, and I'm not going to sacrifice myself. I'm not going to sacrifice my mental health to help people. It's like, no, our mental health matters as well. So I'm not really leaving nursing, but I'm just doing it a different way. I'm recommitted to what I already mastered in nursing school, nervous system support, hypnotherapy if it's applicable, um, mental health awareness, coaching. And I've chosen to, integrate my clinical learning into a wellness-based practice. I'm not abandoning nursing or wellness. It just, for me, this is what it looks like in this, and how I want to operate, how I want to live. So right now, where I am now, I'm building a wellness company based on nervous system education, burnout support, other healing tools, grounding tools for people to use. I'm also planning a move back to actually Estonia. I lived there. If you see some of my older videos, 2017 to 2018, I was in Estonia, and then I was living in the UK from basically 2018 to 2021 during COVID. Just North America, just the Western world doesn't align with my values anymore. I'm looking also to live in a slower paced, slower environment. This country, Estonia, is more introverted, as am I. They love silence. They love nature. Natural healing doesn't mean they don't talk together, support each other. But Canada or this part of the world doesn't suit me anymore, and I'm not aligned with the values of it. Yeah, so it's my story. I'd like to hear back from other nurses or nursing students. What's your experience? What I think what I'm doing is different, quite rare. Like I know there's nurses who've worked in practice and now pivot to wellness practice, but I don't think there's too many nursing students are doing that. I don't mind being the pioneer to blaze a trail for other students. Like, hey, yeah, in labs and school, they're like, bedside nursing, this is what we're training you for, but there's a million other ways you can be a nurse and help people. And just trust your path. So thank you for listening today. I hope it's a food for thought for other people working in healthcare, or if you're a student. It's not everyone's path, but it's mine, and I'm finally at peace with it. So if you're in a program you don't feel aligned, it's okay to pause, pivot, walk away, take a break. Once a nurse, you're always a nurse. You're always a healer in a way that actually honors your nervous system and who you are. So thank you for your time. Leave me some comments below about your experience of school, with the healthcare system in general from where you live. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.